This is Newsline, 30 minutes of news from the news department about Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is Tuesday, January 31, 2023, and I'm TT Gibro with this afternoon's presentation. In the headlines, President George Weah announces re-election bid seeking a second term to consolidate gains made by the CDC administration. Government reveals massive progress in its rural development program across the country. Middle-aged woman allegedly stabs boyfriend to death in a suspected jealousy raid in New Georgia estate. And away from Liberia, militants killed dozens of people in two separate attacks in Burkina Faso. Sports, the news in simple Liberian English, French, a report of today's weather and foreign development are all packaged. First, Zokwe Beslokonen sets the pace with a bulletin of news.
President George Weah has officially announced his re-election bid of the much anticipated October 10 legislative and general elections. The president said he will shortly be reaching out to citizens asking them for a second term in addition to the 6-year mandate that was given to him in 2017. The Liberian leader emphasized that he wants a second term mandate for continuity and stability, transformation, development, and growth.
I will be coming to you shortly to ask you to renew for a second time the mandate that you gave me 6 years ago. A mandate to continue the good work we have delivered.
President Weah said such mandate will pave the way to consolidate and secure the peace which has been perfectly preserved by the help of the people. President Weah assured that a second mandate will enable his administration to consolidate the gains made in the last few years. At the same time, President George Weah has disclosed that the country is currently on an irreversible path of sustainable growth leading to possible progress. President Weah assured that the country is currently strong, stable, and vibrant, adding the state of the nation is also youthful, peaceful, and secured. The Liberian leader said his administration has accomplished a lot against all the odds in spite of the negative forecast when he first took office in 2018.
In the attainment of our major development objective, we have endeavored to mitigate the external shocks that have come our way. And in doing so, we have remained resilient as a united people.
He also said despite the negative impact of COVID-19 and the downturn in the world's economy, Liberia continues to make giant strides in the attainment of major development objectives. The president promised not to fail the people, stressing that he will always work hard to justify the confidence reposed in him by the people. The Liberian leader assured that during the next few months leading to October of this year, his administration will continue to accelerate, build on its momentum, and continue to deliver. Meanwhile, President George Weah says government has made considerable gains in the road and transport sectors of the country. President Weah said 45 kilometers have been paved on the Gbanga-Salaye Road corridor, 20 on the Ganta-Saklepie Highway, 31 kilometers on Sanikole-Logwatuo Road, and 30 kilometers on the Ganta-Yekepa Road corridor. The president also disclosed that the government is making progress on the Madina-Rabasport Road in Grand Cape Mount County and the Rabas International Airport Road project.
We commend our leadership. The total paved road in our national road network was only 745 kilometers throughout the entire country, representing less than 5% of the network. Today, we have increased this number to 1,375 kilometers.
Addressing the nation Monday, President Weah said government has secured funding to connect the remaining 75 kilometers on the corridor between Toll Town and Zwedru, Grand Jide County. The Liberian leader informed the legislature that government has also secured funding for the pavement of the Zwedru to Fishtown Road. Police in Monrovia are investigating a woman believed to be in her early 30s, identified as Deconti Kimaya, for allegedly stabbing her boyfriend to death in a St. Michael community in New Georgia. Eyewitnesses told our reporter the deceased, Kofa Na, aged 33, is said to be a motorcyclist with two kids. Reports say suspect Deconti Kimea stabbed her boyfriend on his left hand multiple times before being rushed to a hospital, but later died upon arrival. The sister of the late Kofana, Beatrice Nan, described her brother's death as shocking and is therefore calling for speedy investigation. Meanwhile, the body has been turned over to family members for burial. The National Port Authority has concluded discussions ahead of the official launch of the entity's scholarship scheme. The discussions were led by a three-member delegation to the United States aimed at mobilizing funds intended to provide capacity building opportunities for deserving Liberian students. NPA Managing Director Diana Nebo, at the head of the delegation, described the move as a manifestation of President George Weah's vision of providing opportunities to Liberians, especially those with career interests in port-related disciplines. She named marine operations and information technology as key areas of focus for capacity building at the National Port Authority. A dispatch from the U.S. says several top corporate, private, public executives and institutions are expected to attend the official launching ceremony of the Scholarship Fund Drive, which is slated to take place in Houston, Texas on June 21, 2023. And residents of Golakonen District in Grand Cape Mount County are said to be living in fear due to the appearances of roaming wildlife in the district. According to our correspondent, the wildlife are roaming on farms and along motor roads, thereby stalling farming activities in the area. Our correspondent quotes Golakonen District Commissioner Arthur Cohen as attributing the movement of the wildlife to logging and mining activities taking place in Grand Cape Mount. Meanwhile, the Golakonen residents are calling on Forestry Development Authority to intervene.
Zokwe Beslokane returns later on during the program with our foreign development and weather report. One of our top stories this afternoon, middle-aged woman allegedly stabs boyfriend to death in a suspected jealousy